Suddenly, it's been an important day in the history of pop music. There's been a big party this afternoon for the 20th birthday of the greatest record made by the Beatles, perhaps the most famous pop group of all times. Born in Liverpool, John, Paul, George and Ringo were the heroes of their generation. They sprang to fame with hits like Love Me Do.
Love, love me do. You know I love you.
Their popularity was rewarded when they were given medals by the Queen, but they got into trouble too for taking drugs. And it was Sgt. Pepper's, recorded here at the Abbey Road studios in London, that later proved their greatest triumph. It stayed at #1 in the album charts for 22 weeks and became a legend. So did the studio, still used by bands today. A crowd of devoted fans returned to Abbey Road today for the birthday. Paul McCartney was there for the band. He's the only Beatle who still gets songs regularly into the charts. His wife Linda helped get a special birthday cake and make sure everyone got a piece.
You've heard of the Beatles?
But there didn't seem to be much excitement among young pop fans.
A load of nonsense.
Was it the sort of music your mum and dad might listen to?
Sometimes, but not really.
Maybe the mighty are fallen. And that's all from Newsround today. I'll see you again round about the same time tomorrow night. Until then, bye-bye.
Well done for coping with those problems, John. We think you're brilliant. Live telly and all that. Let's just hope that this works. Tomorrow there's a special edition of Duncan Dares when Peter takes on viewers' challenges, including wearing a beard of bees, watched by the intrepid camera crew. Peter goes exploring in some Cornish caves and finds he's not alone. The programme has a seal of approval. He also finds himself making friends with a python and a tarantula.
Well, we'll rehearse the act when we do it, all right?
Right. Okay. What's the bad there, is it?
Nice colour. Lovely colour. Let's go and get a cup of tea.
Bunch of cowards. That's tomorrow at 5 o'clock. And there's also more information on Duncan Dares in Blue Peter today, as well as how to make some jewellery and outside in the wildlife garden.
One of cement. Oh! It's now look enough of fantastic. They're doing well. The first crop of cherries. Try your fingers. Back on back. In the jam jar.
Yeah.
Hi, and it's very bad news for all flies and creepy crawlies in our Blue Peter wildlife garden because we've just been introducing some insect-eating plants into the bog. David Bellamy has been giving us some really good advice and information about the garden, and you can see how things are shaping up a little bit later on. First of all, though, Willow, sit up, pay attention, because on the other side of the studio are some of your very distant relations.
Well, this very distant relation of Willow's is in fact an 8-week-old Bengal tiger cub. Her name is Jane and she was born at Guilsborough Grange Wildlife Park. And she's very beautiful. She's also an endangered species, so I'm very lucky to be this close to her.
Well, so am I. Oh, and this is Jane's brother, Johnny. And it's hard to believe that in just 3 months' time, they'll be far too dangerous to get this close to. Now, the cubs at the moment are drinking about 6 bottles of milk per day between them, and they've also just started to be weaned. And they have about a cupful of mints as well. And let's just try to project some of that. Yep. And that's what gives them their beautiful glossy coats.
They are beautiful, aren't they? And unlike kittens, little tiger cubs are born with all their markings perfectly formed, just a bit smaller. But like kittens, they're born with their eyes closed, and after about 3 days they open. And if Jane would just look up, she's got beautiful greenish-grey eyes. Now, Bengal tiger cubs have got a much thinner coat than tiger cubs that are born in colder climates like northern Siberia or China, and they're also a lot lither too. Now, Jane, would you like some of this mint that your brother is tucking into?
Martin Vince from the Wildlife Park says that the cubs are very playful, and all these bits of paper and boxes which we have lying around the studio aren't just us being untidy, they're actually the cubs' favourite playthings.
But I bet you can't guess what their favourite animal is at the wildlife park, because it is, in fact, none other than a German Shepherd dog.
And he's called DJ, and he's one of 3 guard dogs which look after the wildlife park. This is Martin Finch's owner. Martin, he's taking me for a walk again. Hello.
Come on, DJ.
He's a beautiful dog. Listen, is it a case of DJ thinking that he's a tiger cub, or the tiger cub thinking that he's an Alsatian?
Well,
That Alsatian?
I don't think anybody knows, really, but he's always been very keen on them.
No, don't lie, just get past.
That's it.
Sorry, carry on.
DJ, you're waffling all their food. No, he's always loved them. It's a curious thing, right from the very first time he saw